Welcome to the Two-Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James. It is October 10th, 2014, which means it's day 10 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 3, and the movie of the day is Dead Silence. My first impressions of this movie is I really liked it. I really did. I watched it all the way through. I enjoyed every bit of it. I thought it was a pretty good horror movie. So I have a lot to say, so I'm going to jump right into telling you what you need to know about this movie. And first up is the plot. The plot of the movie follows, it opens up with this couple, and one's fixing the stove or something like that, the sink or something, and it's delaying supper. So and while they're getting all lovey-dovey, a knock at the door and an unexpected package shows up. So they open it up, and it reveals to be a ventriloquist doll. And so the husband kind of goes out and gets food, and while the husband's out, the doll kind of starts to pick on and play games with the wife, and ultimately ends up killing her. That's not a spoiler. I don't do spoilers, but it's a big, this is coming. So So the husband comes home and finds the wife dead. And that's where the movie starts up, because it forces him to go back to his hometown to bury his wife and deal with his dad and other things. But as he's doing this, the doll kind of tags along and reveals that where he's trying to figure out where the doll came from, which reveals a bigger and darker secret that surrounds the town and his family as well. And that's really all I can say without spoiling it, because there is a nice twist at the end I did not see coming. I kind of figured who was involved, but I didn't see all the little details. So it was like I was actually pleasantly surprised at the twist. So, but the acting of this movie was pretty good. The main actor is Ryan. I can't pronounce his last name, but if you ever seen True Blood, he plays Jason Stackhouse. You got Donnie Wahlberg, who's also been in a couple of the Saw movies, because the guys who made Dead Silence also made the Saw movies. Who else you got in there? I don't recognize anyone else in the movie besides those two. What else you got? But the acting from all the secondary characters were pretty good too. Then this is where the scare and gore factor comes in, because the way the doll kind of dispatches these people is because of the spirit of Mary Shaw, who did have no children but had dolls, and she made a ton of them. She made like over 100 dummies. So, and this one was sent to her, and it's just really good. The gore, it comes from people's jaws and tongues kind of being like left open, and the tongues being cut out, and that's really about it for gore. But the scare factors come from the jump scares and the creepiness of the dolls. The eyes kind of moving, and when the people look at it, it's just straight on. It's like the doll is actually alive, and so there's a nice creep factor, but the gore is actually left to a minimum, but in a good way. And so, what else? And that's really about it I can say, because I really don't want to spoil it, but I do like the atmosphere of the movie. It's dark and kind of gloomy at the same time. That it has a nice, it just has a nice atmosphere to it. So it's really all I can say. So it's time for my classification scale. First up is run-of-the-mill horror. 2, best watched with a group. 3, more than average horror, but adds nothing new to the horror genre. 4, helps move the horror genre forward. And 5, being a horror classic. Now, I say this is a 3. It's more than average horror, because in the terms of where a doll is involved, because there's a lot of horror movies that have like puppets and stuff like that, and I think this is top of the line stuff. I'm drawing a blank on a couple of them, but I think out of all of my scene, I know there's Puppet Master and stuff like that, but I think this is actually kind of the top tier of the where a doll is involved. So And also kind of reminds me of a Goosebumps episode a little bit. If you've ever seen that, I'm talking about Night of the Living Dummy or something like that. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit, but which is pretty cool. So I like Goosebumps, and I like this movie. So it's a 3. It's a very strong, more than average horror because it has a nice creep factor, acting. You got some decent, nice twist. You got some really cool set designs and the craftsmanship of all the dummies. It's just really good. Just all the way across the board, pretty decent movie. So it's more than average. Because it adds a little, because there's some work put into this. So that's really all I gotta say. My name is Max James, and I'm gonna go geek out.